Welcome to 444 Empath Tarot. Take a deep breath and relax.
Hi Cancer, Jen here. I'm going to go ahead and do your mid-month reading for March 2026. I'm going to go ahead and pull your past energies, current energies, and what's coming towards you. We're going to go ahead and get some advice cards and anything else that Spirit wants to relay to you. So let's go ahead and protect this energy. Spirit for Gemini. Cancer's highest and greatest good. I just did Gemini. And let's go ahead and dive in and see what we have for your past energies, which is the catalyst for the current energies, and then any possible outcomes, which is one of many, okay? So never give your power away to tarot, because the outcome can always change depending on how you want to write the story. So one more shuffle here. Let's go ahead and see what we have. Past energy, strength. Current energy, Hierophant in reverse. What's coming towards you? The Hangman. Clarifying the strength is the 8 of Cups. Clarifying the Hierophant is the 2 of Cups. Clarifying the Hangman is the Ace of Wands. All right, Cancer, give me 1 second. Let me meditate on your energy and get some messages from Spirit, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so Cancer. In the recent past, you got the strength and the 8 of Cups. Off the back, you are really trying. I think for some of you, you're trying to have a lot of courage here. You're trying to have a lot of inner power when it comes to whatever it is that you want to walk away from. I kind of already see where this is going. With the 8 of Cups, you want something better. And I think you're working hard even on yourself. You're trying to... Cancer, I want to say something, and I don't want to offend you, but if you ever feel like you have to chip away at yourself for anyone else, anything else, please don't do that, because that's what this energy is giving me. It's almost like you know you need to walk away from something, or something is better, but you're really trying to kind of compromise yourself. And it does take a lot of courage, but what if it takes too much inner strength here? And usually I don't get that with the strength card, but I'm almost getting the feeling like it shouldn't have to be that hard. You shouldn't have to try that hard. I feel like for some of you, you're altering parts of yourself, but you know you need to walk away from that. So this can be a job, it can be a relationship, it can be a family dynamic, friendship dynamic. We really don't know here. But I do know in your current energy, you have the Hierophant in reverse. So there's some rebellion going on here. There's some questioning going on here in regards to like your beliefs. This has to do with traditions. This has to do with like where you go to school and the job you have and the type of person you are, the religion you choose, your morals. But it's clarified by the 2 of Cups. So I think for some of you, I'm going to say it because it is what it is. You could be questioning a marriage or a union of some sort. Again, it can be a friendship. It can be platonic. It can be a job even. But this is something that is very emotionally charged here. This is something that should feel mutual, you know, because the 2 of Cups speaks about, you know, having partnership and having mutual connections. You like what I like what you like. We're on the same page. And with the Hierophant in reverse, you're kind of questioning that, you know, and it may have come from this past energy where you kind of felt like you were compromising too much. You had to kind of tame, or even, you know, it's not the traditional way to speak of the strength card. It does speak of like inner power and courage, but you know, when it's clarified by the 8 of Cups, I get resistance. I get almost like you're compromising too much. And now you're in a space in this current energy where now you're questioning it. Here is compromise, and here is kind of like, okay, I can't unsee this anymore. What's coming towards you is the Hangman and the Ace of Wands. There is a new opportunity. There is a new inspiration, but some of you are probably giving it to God, or you're trying to look at it from a different perspective. So I don't really see any walking away from whatever the situation is yet, but I do see for some of you, you are looking at things a whole lot differently. You're kind of, it's almost like you're tilting your head and you're like, huh. you know. And I think now this may come from an Ace of Wands energy. This can be, you know, again, it's a new passion. So that passion can be anything. It can be a new person. It can be a new job, a new location, whatever feels fiery for you, whatever kind of drives you, because this is about action, right? So let's go ahead and clarify the Strength and the Eight of Cups, because again, I am getting heavy, like you're trying to compromise here. So yeah, there you are, Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups energy. This gives me the energy of, this is definitely you, Cancer here, because this is your sign with the Queen of Cups. But it also gives me the energy, you know, she's very intuitive. Queen of Cups is very intuitive here. She's also very compassionate too. But you want to be careful with being too compassionate here. Give me 1 second. You know, as I mentioned before, because you showed up in this energy where I feel like there's compromise, it's almost as if you're trying to find yourself again, Cancer. And it's almost like you're hiding, but within yourself. And it's surrounding a situation that you know that you have to walk away from, which is so weird. Now, on the flip side, this could have to do, because anytime I see the Queen of Cups, I think of a mother. So for some of you, you could be, you know, a parent. I won't say a mother or a father. It's just the energy. You can probably be a very compassionate parent here. Wow. So I will say this is very specific. If you're in a relationship where your parenting style is different from the other, that is coming out prominently. And again, you're really trying here. You're trying to be fair. You're trying to compromise. But I think the compromise is that you're compromising yourself. Now, clarifying the Hierophant and the Two of Cups here. Yeah, tough. There's a need for transformation here. And I think that's what's happening for some of you. There is some sort of rebirth happening here. And ironically, the Death card comes after the Hangman. It comes after seeing a new perspective. It's like he's hanging there. He's trying to see things from a different way. And then he makes his decision that, you know what? I have to kind of transform myself. And I think for some of you, you're almost approaching that point. It's like you're shedding this old skin and you're seeing things so differently now. You're questioning everything, your beliefs, your morals. Most importantly, you're questioning the connections that you're having in your life, your friendships, who you're with, your boss, your family. And you're probably, you know, I'm getting this heavy energy that for a while you've thought about, like, these people are toxic. And I've just been compromising myself. I've just been trying to put this smile on my face. And I know that this liberation, this transformation needs to occur. So clarifying the Hangman and the Ace of Wands. Yeah, Five of Cups, there is going to be some grief towards it. And of course, because you're an emotional sign, you're ruled by the moon. And I think what you're thinking is, how will I feel if I decide to move away from this? You know, and of course it's going to be uncomfortable. Of course there's going to be feelings of disappointment. You know, I definitely understand that. But what is more disappointing? You know, staying, or, you know, dealing with the fact that, yeah, it disappointed me, but also making an about face, facing right, and realizing that you have those two cups left. For some of you, this can be deciding to be a single parent. This can be deciding to, you know, get a new job, cut ties with family, things of that nature. For your advice here, Seven of Cups, lots of choices, Wheel of Fortune in reverse. You don't want to feel stagnant here. And I think there is a choice to make, but you want to make the right one, because then you don't want to get stuck. The Wheel of Fortune is almost like the wheel is turning, but in reverse, it's like it takes a pause, but it's pausing to make room for you. And I think what's happening here, while you're making this choice, nothing moves forward because you have free will. And when you don't make room for anything new to come in, nothing new comes in. It's stalled, right? Four of Cups showing up as your advice. You know, this is, whenever I see the Four of Cups, this is about contemplating, but it also speaks about gratitude. I need you to focus on the things that will stay. It could be just 2 cups. It could just be 2 things. It can be you and your dog, or you know, you and your child, or you and one friend instead of 9 fake friends, you know. This is definitely giving me, if I had to give an advice, it's just the feeling of gratitude. And Justice in reverse. So this speaks about things feeling that they're unfair, but they really aren't, you know, in reality. And that's probably what's going to happen with the Hangman. You're probably going to get a new perspective on things, and things may feel, I almost feel like you might have a conversation about things feeling unfair to you, some injustices that occurred. Definitely. And the Three of Swords. Yeah, this is a painful ending. This is something that hurt you. This is something that you probably dealt with for a very, very long time. Something that has left you feeling trapped and feeling as if there is no way out. And then you have the Two of Pentacles. You're going to have to make a choice, though. You know, you're going to have to learn a balance here and stay grounded most of anything. Let me get one more here. The Tower. Things having to come down in order to rebuild on stronger foundation. There's a lot of trickery here, a lot of deception, but you have to be strategic here as well. And you have to let down that burden. It's a lot of burden here, not 10 of Wands. A lot of responsibility, a lot of burden. And if you don't let that burden down, the Chariot in reverse, you will not move forward, and that's Cancer energy, but you will get your success in the end with the 9 of Cups. So if any of these messages make sense, Cancer, give me a like, comment, and subscribe. Till next time.